Okay, so here I am coming in the front door, and this is our little entryway. Let me show you guys. I love the stained glass in this door. I think that it's very, very pretty and different. So this is our little front entryway. We have a lot of storage in here. The rug was actually left by the landlord. And hey, Trouble, what's up? Here we have all sorts of hooks and things, and this is mostly stuff for the dogs and dog walking. One of the things that was great about this house is that we actually found an American landlord, and they left a lot of things where the issue with a lot of German landlords is that they take a lot more stuff than Americans are usually used to, fixtures and stuff out of the kitchen and things like that. So here's our little bathroom. I'm not wild about the green appliances, but hubby absolutely loves the fact that there is a urinal in here, even though I think it's kind of gross. So here's this, again, curtains that were left by the landlord, and a mirror and a little teeny tiny sink. So that's right off the entryway. And then back here, we have our main entryway. We've discovered that you cannot plug our American vacuum in this little room right here. But again, from the landlord, the kitchen is right here. We've got our little eat-in space and my sunflowers from hubby, which you can read about on my blog. In the kitchen is our little space. The funny story here is that our kitchen back in Arizona, this rug took up a little tiny portion of the floor, and here it pretty much takes up the whole thing. We also have our very small sort of space-saving appliances, like the dishwasher, which we basically have to run every day or every other day. And then the stove, I've discovered my big cookie sheet will not fit in the stove, it's too wide. So definitely a little different with the appliances. This is what I was talking about with the vacuum cleaner. This is called a transformer, and we use this for some of the electronic devices that we brought from the United States because it runs off of a different voltage system than here in Europe. So you need this, it's basically like a converter box to go ahead and be able to use, for example, the coffee maker with the different system. So the landlord also left a lot of small appliances like the toaster, which is awesome. Here is our pantry in here, although right here we actually have a second refrigerator. This again is the landlord's, and it's kind of, we have this turned off, but it's a European style one. It's all enclosed, so it kind of blends in. And it's got a little freezer up there, and we have not been using this because we were able to get an American style refrigerator, which among other lovely things has more space, and a frost-free freezer, which is very nice. So here's our pantry. Some of the food that we have here is actually canned goods that got shipped over for me, which I wasn't actually really expecting them to do. Here are some more appliances and things from the landlord, the coffee maker that they left. Here's one of our fancy windows tilted open. And here's the list where I keep track of what I need to get from the grocery store for the next week. This big empty space right here is eventually going to hold a dining table and chairs. And it's really a beautiful space, but we aren't using it for much right now because we simply don't have a dining room set. So here's the couch and the love seat. This all came from Arizona and was shipped and arrived more or less without incident. The rug is also from the landlord. Oh, my lampshade is very tilted. And this is where we spend a lot of time in the afternoon and the evenings. Hey, Trouble. It's very cold today, so she's kind of hanging out. Hi. And being cold, poor thing. Come here. You're a good girl. So, here's the bed over here for the big dog, although he's not in it. He's probably skulking in the basement, as he tends to do. Let's go check on him, actually. So, there is both a basement and an upstairs to this house. We do a lot of climbing compared to the one story. This big window here looks out onto the passageway in between the garage and the house. They are not really attached. And when you go down here, sorry, I'm all congested today. Purple rug from the landlord. And yep, there we have a dog hiding behind the stairs. Hi, buddy. He likes to hang out down here because it's nice and quiet and cool and people leave him alone. Are you napping? Did I interrupt your nap? I'm sorry. So there are 3 rooms down here. The smallest is simply being used for storage. A lot of this is stuff out of my classroom because I am without a classroom right now. So that'll eventually be going into my own classroom here in Germany, hopefully. And little windows. So it's a nice space. This is what is eventually going to be the craft room and is mostly storage right now. So we've got our suitcases. The boxes are mostly holiday supplies. Some of it are like pictures and things that we wound up not using in our house here. Then over here is kind of my little creative corner. I have yarn and knitting supplies. I have some painting stuff. I have my flute and my piccolo, which I have actually been practicing and playing. So it's been a lot of fun to be able to do that. And here are the big storage, or the big travel crates that we're now storing that the dogs came over in. I think they were pretty happy to get their regular crates back. And this is bedding for the bed that we have not bought yet. We're hopefully getting there soon. And then this room is the darkest. I'm gonna flip on the light. Hubby has a boxing thing in here that he really likes. This is the only big rug in the house that belongs to us. The backstory is it came from my mother, who got it from my aunt, who bought it for her at an estate sale, I think in Boston. So it's an antique and it's now in Germany. Over here we've got all of hubby's stuff. We've got some of our workout gear. This big cabinet also belongs to the landlord. We're storing DVDs and things like that in it. And then this house has just the most gigantic laundry room. Oh, please forgive the box from hubby's boxing thing. So it's big. The water heater and everything is down here. It's got all sorts of space to hang clothes. And this is the washer and dryer that came from the post, just like the refrigerator and one of the cabinets upstairs. Here's our little tiny laundry basket. It holds little tiny loads of clothes that fit in our little tiny washing machine and our little tiny dryer. There are actually towels in there that I should probably be folding instead of goofing around with this. His ball. Big boy is terrified of this, and he was not thrilled when hubby blew it back up about a week ago. So let's head back up the stairs. Yeah, they like colorful carpet in this house, so it's green and orange. And there's some blue upstairs that I'll show you. Again, all the rugs are from the landlord. This one is always crooked because Trouble, the little dog, is always skidding on it. The big bathroom is in here. Again, the rugs came from the landlord. They were really nice about leaving stuff. There's a little shower here behind the door. Oh, and dolphins on some of the tiles. And this is the part that I love. Big, giant, giant, giant tub. In here, we are using as a study. All over the floor, you can see my school files because the movers broke my big filing cabinet where I was storing all of my stuff for classrooms. So it's ever so carefully laid out in just the right order and nobody's supposed to touch it, but it looks like the dogs have been messing with them a little bit, so I probably need to look at them. So that's eventually going to go probably in file boxes from IKEA. And there's me. Hi. Oh, we both love stuffed animals. You can see that it is wet and it has been raining all day. So kind of a miserable day. This also belongs to the landlord. This is called a shrunk. You don't really see these in the United States, but because they don't do built-in closets, you have things like this instead for storage. The center room here is the smallest, and we're using this for the dogs. This is the shrunk that came from Post, like the washer, the dryer, and the refrigerator. So we've got the 2 crates in here. These were shipped over, so they actually slept in their travel crates for a while after we first got here. And they have just the most beautiful view out this window. So they probably have the best view in the house. There they are. Best picture of them. She'd been with us for about a week when I took that one, and then she likes to sleep over here. So this is what's eventually going to be our guest room. There's not a lot in here right now. This is from the landlord. That is ours. The futon is ours. And then there's some odds and ends, one of which has a broken cabinet. And then, so this does have a door out onto the balcony. It's raining, so I'm not going to take you out there right now. This bear was made for hubby by a coworker. How cool is that? And this is what we call the yellow room for obvious reasons. We don't have a lot in here. Books, a chair, a box of stuff that needs to go to the secondhand store, then the table and chairs that were left again by the landlord, and also access out into the balcony. So this is a poster that I got in Paris. Got a little frame and hung it up. It's hard to find a frame, but it turns out it was a weird size, but it looks great in here. And then here we have the window with the teddy bears on the shades. This must have been a nursery at some point. And this opens into what was probably an add-on to the house with the very, very blue carpet. But this is what we're using as the master bedroom. So here's my dresser and the bed. And here's hubby's. The plan is to get a mattress, and this is actually going to go in the guest room. This was also left by the landlord, but I really don't like this because, let me show you, it's actually two mattresses side by side. And I really don't like that. I feel like I'm going to fall into the crack in the middle of the night. So the shrunken here is actually built in, which is pretty unusual. And then we hung this black curtain that I think looks like it belongs in a funeral home to help keep it dark in here at night. There's no shade whatsoever. Make sure to check out my blog, which you can find at chalkdustandhighheels.blogspot.com. And don't forget to like the video below. We're going to be doing a lot more of these to help us document our travels, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye, guys.